Hello, welcome back to Into the Studio, where two people who don't make music play self-employed music critics.
The blues in my soul might make me stumble. I throw the anchor when the engine rumbles. It's hurricane season and the
Cool.
sea.
Okay, so if you don't know who Aubrey Peeples is, she's most known for Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive in a little bit into Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Aubrey had to put off going to college twice.
Second time.
For the second time to act in this series and be like the prominent character.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also missing from quite a few episodes because she was working at
The Gem and the Holograms
yes,
remake.
Gem and the Holograms remake, and we'll get into that in a whole second. We'll get into everything.
There's so much. Okay.
But the show went through a lot of Nashville. It aired for 4 years, was canceled, picked back up for a fifth season in 2016, and then a sixth, and then a final season in 2017.
No. The sixth season was the final one in 2017.
Oh, my bad.
They straight up just like
My
six
bad.
season cap.
But yeah, so Aubrey played the role of Layla Grant for seasons 2 and 3, and then was back for the fourth season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, well,
she had denied or refused to come back on, whether because they had for the last season they had been changed over to CMT, that network.
yeah,
And I don't know if she had a vendetta against that network. I don't think she did, but she didn't come back for the fifth season.
yeah.
But while on show, she was given a chance to tour the country. I'm not sure how far she went, but she was performing at the Grand Ole Opry, which is several times over. Where she started performing music and her own music and music from the show, stuff like that. So it was really fun.
Yeah.
But Nashville, if you haven't seen it, don't know why you wouldn't have. It's been out for years.
Watch it.
Yeah, watch it, guys. Watch it. Where have you been? It follows various country musicians all in different places with their careers, and of course, it's not about the music. It's a soap opera, but musical.
So soap opera.
It's yeah. Basic plot: two country singers are butting heads because one of them's career is starting to fade. So she was told to open for the younger and prettier country singer. Didn't want to. She was told to open for her on tour, right? She's gonna go on tour and be an opener for some other woman, right? Didn't want to. But it gets so complicated because they bring in their guitarist or the guitarist of the what's her name, Raina. They bring in Raina's guitarist to be the middleman. I don't know why, but then Raina's father comes in. Her estranged father comes in and convinces her husband to run for mayor of Nashville. That's just the first episode, guys.
There's a lot going on.
There's so much.
There's six seasons. So
go
binge
pick
it.
up your new binge.
we're in a pandemic still. You can binge more shows. I
take
believe
off
in you.
take off work. Colin's sick. The Gems and the Holograms remake, right?
Yes.
That she literally was absent from Nashville to play in. She played Gem, the lead in that one, right?
It didn't go over well with the public.
Backstory: Gem and the Holograms was a remake or a movie adaptation to a cartoon, an animated cartoon series.
That was made in the 1980s.
Yes, 1980s. I can't remember.
And what we're assuming happened is that they didn't have the correct budget to stay faithful to the original 1980s animated television series, because you know how remakes are. They can either be amazing and have a smash hit,
Yes,
or they can go terribly wrong. So people don't genuinely like remakes unless with some few exceptions. So
if it doesn't get hit the nostalgia gland correctly, it's not gonna be a hit.
yes, absolutely.
But the funny thing is about Jim and the Holograms, right? They tried, the dude who did the remake, he tried to get it remade 11 years before it actually was remade, and they rejected him because they didn't agree to the budget. for reference of how poorly this thing did, it was $5 million budget and made $2 million. So
Yeah.
people were not happy with that. And like Aubrey played the lead in that, so
Yeah.
probably
It didn't go over well.
yeah, pretty unfortunate.
But there is a more positive side to Aubrey's career.
Yes.
Which we're going to talk about, which is something that I'm genuinely so excited about, and what Aubrey has stated in the interview at the end, so stay tuned.
Yes. Stay tuned.
Unconventional.
Yes.
Unconventional is an upcoming show with a like all queer or like mostly queer cast, if they're not all queer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a series that follows eccentric queer siblings,
Mhm.
Noah and Margot, and their significant others, and they oh my god, I can't read.
They're significant others, basically. It's navigating having an unconventional family, I guess, pyramid, or like a family group circle, because they're queer, right?
Yeah. And like as a lot of queer people go through, is like really pulling away from blood family and more focusing on chosen family and expanding through that.
Wow, are we noticing a theme with queer music?
Wow.
Queer shows.
And the thing about this series is that like they're all navigating it through their 30s, which I feel like a lot of people are going to like. Well, I'm not in my 30s. I'm
like, aren't
24.
you almost 30? That's almost halfway to 30.
I'm 24. My mindset, God, I don't even know. But I'm 24, but I do relate to like, having to cut off family members or family members cutting you off as well. And having to rely on chosen family to build that family dynamic and heal the wounds of family abandonment. So that's why I'm like so excited for it.
I am excited to see it because like I'm in my 20s, right? I'm turning 21 soon. Party time, right?
It'll be
legal.
Drink alcohol.
No, but seeing a cast of older queer folks, even if like they're only in their 30s, 10 years older, right? A little dark, but a lot of queer people don't live past their 40s, right? Like you don't hear about a lot of queer elders, right? So it's going to be exciting to see the characters and the actors like in their 30s and stuff, or close to their 30s, go through and have to re-navigate family environment as like adult queer folks, right?
Yeah, that's also the thing, like touching on how there's not like a lot of older queer people, because of like there's a lot of queer people who died during the AIDS epidemic and just a whole bunch of stuff because of like.
Listen, basically,
there's a lot going on.
Treat your queers better, like
yes,
we deserve it. But anyway, we're both really excited for that show.
Yes.
Aubrey does talk about it a little bit. She gives us a little bit of insight on it. I hope you guys line up around the block to watch it. It's not
line
gonna
up where it's gonna be streamed.
I know, but metaphorically, line up around the theater, like
line
crowded.
Up to your house.
Yes. Okay, that works too.
Create a line to your front door. Bring your friends.
But like on top of all this, right? I'm really glad that Aubrey's able to move from something like Nashville into unconventional, because like arguably soap opera. How much more like cishet are you gonna get than like a soap opera about country musicians? Like, I didn't want to have to say it like that, but moving into like unconventional, I'm really excited to see how that propels her forward in like acting career and stuff like that, and like what she's able to create through her music with that, right?
Yeah, and like a lot of what's the word? Moving away from like again like the cishet norms of Nashville into a queer spotlight of Swampz being like in making music that are based off of like queer experiences or just Aubrey's life in general. And also being an unconventional with queer people in it and queer characters. It's great. It's absolutely a great transition. I fully support this.
Yes, we're so happy. We love seeing people grow.
Some notable mentions that she's also been in is Sharknado, which
she played Claudia in that.
Is a trip. Everything in the Sharknado series is a trip. Death of a Cheerleader in 2019 as Bridget Moretti. Charlie's Angels in the 2011 as Sarah Daniels, and Heartthrob 2017 as Sam Maddox.
I want to talk about Heartthrob for a second because
Yes.
I read the synopsis. I went through and I watched some scenes of it. Right.
I have not.
Well, unfortunate for you. Heartthrob is like a weird kind of like thing where Aubrey as Sam plays like the girlfriend of this dude, where like he becomes like obsessed with her, like dangerously obsessed. Like I don't want to spoil it because I think it's a really like cool piece. I think you guys should watch it, but like it's nuts. It's just like nuts. But yeah, like Heartthrob, like she goes through like this relationship, like in love with this dude, and like he turns out like problematic, like obsessive, problematic, and like she's like navigate that. So like you guys should check that one out. That is one I'm recommending to everybody watching or listening.
Yes. I will watch it. I will take
I'm
your
gonna make you-
recommendation.
Well, I'm gonna make you watch it when we get home.
Okay. I guess I'm watching it tonight. Yeah. So moving away from acting and more into the
Yes.
music side of Aubrey Peeples, part of like
Or
the-
Swampz. We should
Swampz.
Swampz for this
Swampz is the musician side.
musician. Like a little heads up. Aubrey's using Swampz to sort of move away from her acting career because if you guys have ever tried to Google Aubrey Peeples, it's literally just like long brown hair, like
All the characters that she played, but never just like
never her. And you go to her Instagram and she's like short pink hair, and like you guys will see like her like awesome outfit in like the interview. Like
it's
so
a
much
fit,
color,
it's
so much
great.
everything. But away from acting, right? We're gonna go into some of the music that Aubrey is making, and we're gonna help her make the distinction between her acting career and her music career by using her music, the name she's using under her music, which is Swampz, stylized with like a Z, I think.
Yes.
So-
SWAMPZ.
yes, thank you for spelling
You
it.
are welcome. So we're
Yes.
gonna talk about the song sometimes.
Mhm.
So part of the Happy Birthday album is about to drop on her birthday, which is November 26th, which is 2 days before Nylan's birthday.
Joint birthday party with Aubrey Peeples.
Hey y'all, happy early birthday, I guess. So, Aubrey worked with her team to get Sometimes released a little early, so it's already out. So, go visit her socials, go stream it on Spotify, tell her we sent you, share it with your friends, share the episode with your friends. Like, come on.
And this song tackles issues of self-love and the journey and dealing with whatever comes with that, or at
Mhm.
least that's like our interpretation of it.
Mhm.
And
There's definitely also like this worry in the song, sometimes specifically, right? There's also this worry of like not getting it right,
yes,
right? And it specifically references not getting it right and then being made manic because of it, right?
manic episodes are not fun.
Yeah, and if you're like us over here, you can kind of understandably like make that connection. Mental health has been a big part of our lives and mania for the both of us.
Mhm.
I've gone through this last year stuck inside, but I've had to heal a lot of trauma because I've been left with myself, as a lot of people did.
COVID really forced us to sit with ourselves
Yeah.
and learn about ourselves.
Absolutely. But like literally the fear of doing or saying something wrong has kept me up for days before, like while I was in like a worse environment, like worse headspace, right? And like she references that in her music where she's literally like, if I do it wrong, well, I guess I'll go manic, I guess.
As brains do.
Mhm.
So there's the line that's you keep on telling yourself lies, it's easier to fall behind, but it takes a toll on my mind. And I feel like that lyric resonated a lot with both of us, especially being mentally ill.
The mental illness game.
Where it's because of like procrastination and weighing up the options that you have, like taking up like this massive
Mhm.
massive job and work of like taking care of yourself
Mhm.
and recovering from everything you've been through, or you can just lie and shove it all down and pretend that everything's okay and
Yes.
that you're okay and that just like nothing's happening, like just
Mhm.
completely turn
Mhm.
and just no.
But if you guys are on TikTok right now, there's like a snippet of that audio floating around from Little Dark Age. It says like, know that if you hide, it doesn't go away. It's incredibly irrelevant. Like not irrelevant. It's
I was
great.
gonna say it's very
It's
relevant.
very relevant to this.
Yeah, and I
I feel like it has to be part of the cycle where like a lot of people don't necessarily like themselves, especially people like stigmatized disorders or like mental illnesses.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
it's like a massive feedback loop from like social media where it becomes like, oh, my depression doesn't look like that. Mine's so much worse. And then you have like the kind of depression or like mental illness or
It becomes essentially just like a pain Olympics
mhm,
sometimes on social media,
which is
where
unfortunate.
you'll express like, "Hey, I'm depressed this day," and someone will come in and be like, "Well, I feel worse than you." Like, all
hmm
right, I'm sorry you feel bad, but that doesn't change the fact that I feel
hmm
bad.
And like it pushes people away from reaching out for help because it's like, uh, my I'm using depression as an example. Like my depression is too bad to help. Like these people have it bad and they're barely scraping by. Like if they're barely able to do it, I can't do it. And it's basically just like comes down to the romanticization of mental illness.
The second that like there's like
Mm-hmm.
mental illnesses, especially mental illnesses that are stigmatized, that are
Mm-hmm.
like not romanceable, then
Mm-hmm.
people are like,
This is fake.
actually, not even that it's fake. Like they just like completely just like just
They like flip like 360 like not 360 like 180 though. It's like we hate you. And I'm like,
yeah,
oh.
it's just straight hating on it. And like for example, like personality disorders, like borderline or like actually yeah, borderline personality disorder, which I am diagnosed with. I every single time that I have Googled borderline personality disorder, it's been like how to cope with someone who has BPD, how to survive a relationship with someone who has BPD, how to like just
It's never about how to help yourself cope with having it,
yeah,
especially with like so many people. Like how do you deal with being in a relationship with someone like that? Like how do you deal with having a family member like that? Which to draw the parallels of how a lot of people treat like queerness in general,
mhm.
um, and like a lot of queer folks are heavily traumatized and have a lot of mental health issues, so they're like double stigmatized, especially like if you're not white. Um,
Yeah, fun
So that's
times.
again like why we're so excited to see unconventional start to tackle those issues, especially on like a wider scale because it's gonna have a bigger audience than what we got, right? This one comes out again. The album Happy Birthday comes out on the 26th, so you guys should keep out look out for that.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. You guys should just really listen to the song sometimes. It's
Listen,
so
stream,
good.
stream it.
Stream it, yeah, yeah. You have to stream it. Get those views up. But as Aubrey's coming out with more music, it's gonna be a little hard to, like, I guess, to find that music because she's, or I guess, Swampz is coming out with more music. It's gonna be hard to like discover that. So we're hoping to get that message out there. Um, if you Google search Aubrey, I'm pretty sure as I said, you can't find anything. It's only the
Yeah,
character she's played.
you gotta search swamps.
Yeah, so it's Swamps with an underscore between every letter, like on Instagram and stuff like that, or like Hey People, it's Hey Peoples, it's Aubrey on like Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah. So about 5 years
Mm-hmm.
ago, Aubrey uploaded to her YouTube these like summertime live
Mm-hmm.
session thingies where she's like live, like hence the title "Summertime Live."
Mm-hmm.
But she sings "Do Right Woman, Do Right Man," these foolish things. Will you still love me tomorrow and turn me on?
I feel like the titles are pretty self-explanatory, but like they're still within like the same kind of genre that she's moving towards. Um, that's about the only thing I could find when like we're doing our little research on a computer, right? Um, of stuff she personally has uploaded. So if you guys really want to keep up with her, you're not going to be able to find her in the media. You have to find her personal social medias and like keep up with her that way. So like go support her. What are you doing like watching this right now? Go follow.
Do it, do it.
um,
Yeah, so just a
yes.
quick segue back to acting. In general, her YouTube's been like kind of dead.
Mm-hmm.
Until she started releasing footage from Decadeless, which is a 10-minute short film about a group of teenagers and a night of firsts. So they end up at an arcade, and it's like implied that they get high.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cool little film. Go
Mm-hmm.
watch it. The lighting was pretty, good
Mm-hmm.
vibes. Like not good vibes, but like the vibes of the movie
Yes, it
where
was.
it was the
It's 10 minutes.
ambiance. That's the word I was thinking of.
Ambiance. Yes. It's like a 10-minute video on like our YouTube or something like that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You go find it, go watch it, go support it. Tell Aubrey we sent you.
Yes, get in her comments, be like, Matt and Nylon sent us to bully you. No, don't bully her, guys.
Don't bully her.
But like, absolutely, go check out her stuff. I hear that she is going to, or she has started looking into series to write, like and direct and stuff like that. So I think we should go ask her about that. Find out what she's writing. So we will go meet you guys in her interview.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Me too. Okay. Overall, the album focuses on like depression, anxiety, PTSD, but then sometimes you like open a line with a line that like challenges your experience of like you're trying to connect to womanness or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Are you experimenting with that more through Swampz, especially with like all the vibrant colors and like the pink hair, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a really strange relationship to my femininity my whole life. I feel like hyper femininity was really pushed on me from a young age, and I grew up in the South and environment with like very strict traditional gender values, which was always difficult for me. And okay, maybe I'll just say this for the first time like in an interview, but I identify as a woman, but I also identify as femme non-binary, which is something that I've realized as we've been talking about it more as a culture. So that is something that I have used Swampz in this album to explore and get closer to understanding myself.
I was gonna ask you about that, but I didn't know if it would be too pushy, right?
No, go
me
for
and
it.
Matt are both non-binary, but
Non-binary
Oh my God,
solidarity.
amazing.
Our little crew.
Amazing. That's awesome.
But
Very
we're
cool.
trans-masculine, obviously not feminine, right? That's really cool to see, and I was gonna like ask about it because I was like, I don't know, like I can pick up on it a little bit, but
Yeah.
like obviously
Like,
with
people are
like
like, what's going on?
yeah, but like with all like the colors
Is
and
this
the
like
style.
gender stuff?
But obviously, like with all the colors and the style and like
Yeah.
the like everything you have going on, I was like, this looks familiar. I should ask about it.
Thank you.
Like, it's
I'm
like-
glad that that's something that you picked
Yeah.
up on. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so fun to see, and I was just like, I need to know.
Yes.
Yes.
It's exciting to see you, especially do that. Like, I'm really glad that you're doing it under Swampz, so that you can kind of distance yourself from like that acting and kind of like
Exactly.
bring in as yourself more. So it's like
Yeah.
really fun to see. And I'm excited to see what happens with that.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think too, growing up in this society as a child actor, that was a very weird experience, especially with like stereotyping and the roles that I would go out for and still go out for, just being so narrowly defined as to what a woman or a human is or should be. And yeah, just, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I think the differentiation between me as an actor and all these like women that I've played that I don't really feel like were written as a full human person. It's really important for me to have like a safe space to be like, well, who am I when I'm allowed to be fully myself?
Right.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Acting and fleshed out feminine roles are not the greatest thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of acting, you grew up a theater kid. So do you view that as like basically the stepping stone into like film and TV, or like what was your pathway?
For me, it definitely was. I love theater. I really, really miss being on stage. When is that going to be again? I mean, I guess things are slowly getting back to opening up.
Fingers
But
crossed.
yeah, I love theater. I do think that, I don't know if it needs to be the stepping stone for everybody, but I think it really allowed me to develop a certain kind of technique and discipline that I think has really benefited me in the film and television world. And a lot of people will say this, it's kind of cliche at this point, but a lot of people will say like, oh, theater is the actor's medium and film is the director's medium. And maybe that's like a little bit too reductive, but you know, you get to be the character nonstop for 2 hours, which is a different experience than, you know, stop, start, stop, start. So that's something that I really love and I think is helpful. Yeah.
I agree with that. I miss theater. I'm also an actor, a film and TV actor, but like
Cool.
I miss stage work.
Me too. Oh my god.
I'm not an actor, but I was a
That's
stage
okay.
hand
Oh,
for a while,
amazing.
and then I moved to PA work. So it's like it's all theater to film and TV.
Yeah.
That's all it's gone for me, right?
Yeah.
And like acting, like specifically, right? There's this thing, unconventional, that's coming up. Mostly
Yes.
queer cast, all queer cast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited for it, and it follows like an unconventional like family dynamic.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know like what will be released as far as when this comes out, but a lot of information is already online. Like
Mhm.
you said, it's about a lot of queer people who are trying to start their own families. It basically follows a brother and sister who are both queer, and they are in queer relationships, and they're both looking to maybe extend their families. I don't know how much more I can say.
Mhm.
But really, ultimately, what it is about is how childhood trauma influences your modern day relationships.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, a lot of our characters are dealing with mental health stuff like depression, anxiety. My character specifically is bipolar and kind of discovering that she has PTSD for the first time.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that was something I found really special about the project.
I love that immensely.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
Me too.
I feel
Especially
like-
compared to what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
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 And I feel like, especially, it's gonna mirror a lot of people's actual like real life experience. Like,
Yeah.
I moved out here in August. Like,
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
talk to my family anymore, right? So I'm having to basically rewrite what it means to have family.
Yeah.
So like,
Mm.
I'm like so excited to watch it. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Chosen
Yes.
family.
Yes.
Important. Yeah.
That's also the
So
theme of our
hype.
last episode.
Yeah. Oh
with
my
Ryan.
god.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about like chosen family, also trauma, family trauma.
Yeah.
And
Who isn't?
Literally, it's
Honestly.
like a reoccurring theme. Back into acting, right? Going from unconventional, coming from being in Nashville as
Mhm.
Lila,
Yeah.
it's got to be pretty drastic, like difference, right? As we were talking earlier, it's like separation between what you were and what you are now, right?
Totally. Yeah.
But I think I was specifically going to ask, you put off going to school like for a second
did.
time to play as Lila, right?
I did. Yeah. I was actually packing up my apartment to go to school when I found out that I got that role. I had deferred for a year at that point, and then I was like, I hadn't booked a ton of stuff. I did Sharknado, but I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe I should go to school. And but yeah, then I got the call, and so I put it off. And I've slowly over the past few years been like taking more classes and
Mhm.
trying to finish. I'm almost done getting like my 2-year associate's degree, and then
Ooh.
hopefully I will be able to at some point in the future. I'm taking it slow. Don't really know what my life is like
Right.
a few months in advance ever. But yeah, I really want to then like be able to become a transfer student, probably somewhere out here, and study human evolutionary biology.
Ooh.
Yes.
I love science.
Who doesn't?
God. The more that I just learned about you, I'm just like, yes, I love.
So much.
Which brings
Same.
back to like everything on that line is like, it's like because you like snuck away a little bit, right? And then you're
Yeah.
gonna come back and you're like, here's all this cool stuff I'm doing now, which
Hopefully,
is so
yeah.
fun. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Step into your truth.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I am
Feel
trying.
Speaking of travel, right? While you're thinking, speaking
Yes.
of travel, you for Nashville again,
Mhm.
you got to travel part of the country, and you were performing at like that event, right? For several times over,
Yeah,
performing
yeah.
like blues and like soul music and stuff like
Yeah.
that. How was that? Like, was it like your like gateway to be like, I want to make more music, or?
Totally, yeah. I mean, it was definitely one of the best parts of that show. Like,
Mhm.
one of my favorite parts of that whole experience was going on tour. So special to be able to do that.
Mhm.
And, you know, it was not quite like it will be when I go on tour for my music. But we were able to sing some of our original music. You know, we had to sing a certain number of songs for the show. And I did feel like we were kind of cast in these certain roles that we, to some degree, emulated on stage as well, you know? So I'm excited to perform as, you know, fully myself, of course. But it was amazing. I learned so much, and I love being on tour. So that was, yeah, just incredible. And the people that we met doing that was just such an invaluable experience.
Yeah. What really pushed you to take on like the music genre of like jazz, synth pop, and like that
Yeah.
entire like style of
Yes.
music? Like, what was your?
Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of a natural evolution. I love jazz.
Mhm.
I've always sung jazz. Love jazz standards. You know, I've always been listening to Billie Holiday and
Mhm.
Dinah Washington.
Mhm.
You know, all the classics. And even while I was like writing more blues and soul music when I was in Nashville, but I always loved jazz. Would do jazz sets around town.
Mhm.
So that was kind of always like with me, and also doing a lot of theater. There's so many jazz influences with a lot of
Right.
the
Yeah.
shows that I was doing growing up. But yeah, it just kind of naturally evolved. I feel like I was really trying to like fit myself into something, and then the last 2 years happened, and everyone's trauma came to the surface,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
just like let whatever wanted to come out, and then I was like, okay, I think this is jazz pop.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it
yeah,
works.
I love synth stuff, but I really also love like classic nostalgic melodies.
Mhm.
So trying to combine all those influences.
Cool.
I think I
dig
could
it.
definitely
Thank you.
feel all those influences when listening to
you.
some of your songs. It's like so nice.
Oh my god, you've listened.
I have.
Yes.
Yes.
That's so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I really liked it because like I also listen to Billie Holiday.
Oh.
I can't name anyone else by name but Billie Holiday.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. Yeah.
But like I can definitely feel that influence of like the jazz and like the synth, and like I can feel it.
Thank you.
Like it's very easy on the ears. Do you know what I
Ooh,
mean?
thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. I love that.
Do you ever plan on like making more short films?
Yes, I would love to. I've been writing a couple things. I definitely want to make a couple more short films, but I'm writing a series right now.
Ooh.
I just started. It's very
Okay.
new.
Right.
And I have a couple different scripts that I've been working on here or there that I would really like to do something with. But the series, I'm trying to think how I should phrase this. It's like loosely based on this small film acting school thing in Florida. So the whole thing is going to take place in like 2003
Okay.
in the middle of Florida with a bunch of stage mothers.
That sounds fun. That sounds
Thank
fun,
you.
I love yes.
Thank you. We'll see. Yeah, my sister and I have been developing it just for fun.
That's nice. Like
Yeah.
genuinely.
Thank you.
Oh, I was gonna ask, what kind of goals do you have as Swampz, like with your music? Like, what direction are you hoping to take from here?
I mean, I would love it to, do well, my first album and
Mhm.
everything. But I really just set out with the goal in mind of this being a safe space for me.
Mhm.
And I hope to keep that integrity throughout whatever happens with this. I'm not with a label.
Mhm.
Of course, I would be open to something like that. But yeah, I just sort of did this being like, I want full creative control to put whatever comes up inside out there. And yeah, I really want to work on a second album. I've already been writing some songs. I really want to go on tour, so hopefully that will happen next year, and I'll tour this album, and then yeah, I just want to keep making music. I actually recently I'm trying to get more into music production for myself, so I can produce a little bit more.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm slowly on that journey, but that's something I really want to get into.
Mhm. Well, good luck. I know
Thank
music
you.
production is pretty difficult.
Oh my god, it's so
Definitely.
difficult.
Yeah.
But I love Ableton. I've like recently started
Yes.
using Ableton, and I'm obsessed. So
You're gonna be so powerful.
oh, thank you so much.
We're just gonna energize you right now.
Take over the
Yes.
world right now with your
you.
music.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
I think that was our last question. Do you
Yeah.
have anything you want to leave with our viewers?
Ooh, it is okay to feel however you are feeling, and it's better to face whatever you're feeling than repress it. And if you
Valid.
can do that in a creative way, that has been something that's been super healing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Beautifully
I
said.
love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then we can find you at Swampz with an underscore between
Yes,
every word,
'cause
every
that's
letter.
what was available.
Yes. We were talking about that earlier. It's like, it has to be the only thing that was available, right?
Yep.
Anywhere else you want us to direct our listeners?
Ooh, well, when the album comes out,
Mhm.
we'll be on Spotify and Apple Music, all that
Mhm.
good stuff is the plan. And then yeah, my socials,
Mhm.
Swampz, and then my personal is Hey Peeples, it's Aubrey. Those are I'm mostly active on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. New to
Ooh.
TikTok.
I need to
Yes.
follow you on
Obsessed.
TikTok.
Oh my god, please do. It's Aubrey Peeples _Swampz.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, and my Patreon page too.
Patreon, yes.
Which is
Ooh.
patreon.com/AubreyPeeples_Swampz.
You gotta get it out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sweet. Well, best of luck to you, because I am excited to see where you're going, where you're able to take off, and I'm excited to see you go on tour. You're going on tour next year. I'm manifesting
We're putting it out there.
Yes. I'm super excited.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us be like your
Oh my
first
gosh.
podcast interview right now.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mhm.
This has been
Yeah.
awesome.
No problem. Oh my god, I'm excited.
Me too.
Okay. We gotta go. Bye, guys.
Oh, I try to feel like a woman, not really sure what that means. Oh, I'm looking in the mirror, but I still see a child staring back at me, and she's so scared of everything. Oh, it's so hard to love yourself sometimes.
You're gonna be so powerful.
Oh, thank you so much.